Hey guys, it's Mr. Calderon with Queen My Pawn. I got another game to discuss today that I got in my inbox. The user wants me to analyze their game, and that's totally fine. I love analyzing your games. Hi, Mr. Calderon, says Campeao dos Campeoes. I watched your videos and really enjoyed your tips. Thank you very much, and please keep the great work. Absolutely. If you are watching this video and you have a game that you're confused about and you want me to analyze, please send me that game to my Leeches account and message me, or you can send it to queenmypawn.com. Go to contact, and I will see your game. I commented on one of your videos. I would like you to analyze one of my games, please. I think it would be more instructive to analyze a game that I lose. Yes, it is definitely more instructive because you feel the sting of the loss more. And that's what got me from 2200 to 2300, as I talk about in one of my videos. I was in a funk, and then I lost the game, and I, instead of quitting, asked myself, oh my gosh, why did I lose this game? I should have won this game. This guy is so low rated. And it turns out I wasn't controlling the center enough, and because I went soft in that aspect, I lost the game. But ever since then, I've been losing games only to tactics, and that's every now and then because I'm generally pretty good in tactics. I subscribed to your channel yesterday, so I'm waiting for the notification. Yes, please subscribe to my channel so you can get the notification. Okay, so we're about to get started on that. Let me make sure that everything is set to go. Just a moment about that. So let's go ahead and look at the game. That was the inbox. So, okay. Here we have the game, and the game, he was black, c4, so he's controlling d5, knight f6, e3, which is a strange move, but it's playable, g6. Look, if I was you, I would play c5 in this position. Like, I get it, King's Indian is playable, every master plays King's Indian, but if you're just beginning, like if you master the basics right? If you master e4, you master d4 as a player up to 2400, maybe in 2500. If you can play e4, d4 for as long as possible, which is what I'm doing, you can get really strong in the foundations, and it's gonna take you a year maybe, but then you have the rest of your life to play whatever you want, and it's amazing, man. I love the view from up here. So g6, 92. See, like c5 is automatically preferable, right? This is how the game could continue. c5, d4, c takes, e takes, and then d5, and you have a Grunfeld sort of defense. And this is a good position for black because he can attack the d4 square. You even put a queen there eventually at some point. The game's good. The game's looking good. So bishop g7, h3, castles, g4. That makes no sense, but he's just weakening his king side, and prematurely as well. There are positions where the king can stay in the middle behind these three pawns, so it's all about defending maybe f2. So if you can get that file open, you're basically going to be gold. So I think that's what you did in the game. d5, knight to g3, knight to e4. This isn't a good move because you're up in development, right? So you want to open up the center with e5 and just attack. But if you do this, you're trading off pieces. That's one less attacker that you have now, and also one less defender of your king side. It's positionally unsound. So he takes, of course, and you take back. So he starts attacking your pawn. And you know what? Maybe you set a trap here. But the thing is that this pawn is weak, right? So you play f5, and yeah, that makes sense to attack the f file, but he can pretty easily defend that. Let's say with something like d4. You have to take en passant, or you have to give him the center and block your bishop and prevent him from going anywhere. Then again, maybe you can play c5 and e5 and push strength and put some stress on his center. But then you'd be opening up the bishop. Realistically speaking, though, the reason for d4 was that he could control f2 and defend against it in case of any queen takes f2 or rook takes f2 ideas. So maybe just simply takes. But still, black is better here because he's weakened his king side. He should have been castled and brought out the bishop to e2 at least by now. So in the game, knight c3 was played. You played e6. I see you're trying to get the queen there. That's interesting. But also, you should get the bishop out to b7. So because the bishop is blocked here, okay? So b3, and now I would play bishop e7 in this move. You instead played knight c6, which I understand because knights before bishops, and you could probably put a knight there. So it's not a bad move either, and it's a developing move, so it's a good move. a3, which is another waste of time, and now queen to h4. I would consider that not a good move. In this position, I would automatically play b6. That way you can play bishop b7 and move a knight here and there, and if the bishop captures on d3, you have a discovered attack on the rook, and you're attacking the queen at the same time because the pawn is attacking the queen and the pawn's out the way of the bishop. So that would also bring out one of your pieces. Instead, you play queen to h4. Another reason why that's not a good move is because the queen can go to many different squares. It can go to d6, it can go to e7, f6, g5. You have 5 different squares to pick from, at least, and you don't know which one's the best one for your queen. You need to move the most powerful pieces last. The least powerful pieces only have 1 or 2 squares to go to, so you need to bring those out ASAP. Finally, this is not a good move because the rook and the bishop are trapped. And let's say you get carried away with your attack and you're like, oh my gosh, I can get this guy, but I'm missing a bishop, or I need a rook to attack this square file. Well, that would have been possible if you had just played bishop to b7, b6, and then you could get the rook out in one move. Time is extremely important. The position is still definitely favorable for you, but you need to make it secure, and you need to secure the win by developing your bishop. So you play queen to h4. He took, you took. That's just not good. d4 finally, and e5. Now it would make sense still to play this b6 move because when the knight takes here, you can simply have a bishop scoping that rook in the whole diagonal. You see, if the bishop had been here, this would not have been a threat at all. So now we are starting to see the repercussions of not developing. So e5, d5, which is not a good move because you sacrificed your knight and you can advance the pawns now, and you're also threatening knight to f3. So he took, you took, he took, you attacked the rook for free, so you also sacrificed. That's good. So he took the rook, he trapped your bishop, but you can always take the bishop, which you did. And then after queen takes b2, you played queen to f4, which is not a good move because this still needs to come out, man. You're down 2 pieces right now. This is not good. Like, you would be winning. No, you wouldn't be winning, I would say. But you would have a better position if you just got the bishop out. Right now, I think it's too late for b6. You need to play bishop to d7 and rook to e8. And get the pieces out. Get the pieces out. So, queen to f4 is moving a piece twice. Castles, and you're moving another piece twice. Even though this is a threat, and you're uncovering the bishop, it would be more secure, and you would guarantee a win if you played bishop d7. But if you play this, you're more likely to make a mistake. Is there a defense to this? This pawn is definitely lost, but I think he can defend with f3, and after bishop takes h3, he has rook to f2, and I would say that's defendable. You're defending the entire, you're defending c1. If you're defending that, the position is defendable, and now hopefully you play this, and you know, you sack the rook back for another attack. You can't go anywhere because of this knight. You needed another rook in the game. So let's go and continue because we're out of time here. Yeah, over here was your fatal mistake. You could just take the knight. If you had been backing up this rook with, you see, you got greedy, right? And you actually had no choice because this bishop shouldn't have been here. It should have been either on b7 or d7. And the rook could have slid to e8 to protect that rook. It's all about piece play. And you're not using enough pieces in the game. That's why your level is where you're at. You could have defeated this guy who's 200 points above you pretty easily if you just followed the basic principles. I would tell you this though, okay? I will tell you this. The basic principles will carry you really far. It will carry you to at least 2200. Bring out your pieces and control the center, which you've done, but you didn't bring out your pieces. So bring out your pieces is the thing that you need to do next. So I hope you liked my video. Make sure to give it a like by clicking the thumbs up button. Subscribe to my content for more videos like this, and I'll see you on the next one.